Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. We're back here in Osaka. George, good to be back.
Yeah, great to be back here in Osaka. It was touch and go whether we'd get here before Chinese Whispers arrived.
Well, it was, wasn't it? Well, they were due to get in around midnight. The wind gods got in the way and slowed them down, which is good for you.
Yes, we thought they were putting the brakes on just so we could get here in time, and what a finish it was.
It was fantastic. Now, we've got a separate interview coming up on which we'll publish separately with Chinese Whisper, but we'll just show you a bit of the footage of the last night's celebration. It was fantastic to see.
Fantastic job, boys. I looked after it for you. We're very happy to be in Osaka, finally. So the record was on our minds. That was the aim, to get the record, and we've done it, which makes us very happy. Good job.
Now, the club, they put on an amazing spread, don't they, George? We've had a party or two already.
Oh yes, this is the third time I've been here and it never ceases to amaze me. But Martin, the thing I constantly am absolutely amazed about is when you come into Hokkaido, the Willy Wonka factory. Do you want to tell them about Willy Wonka?
It's a pretty amazing place. Actually, we'll give you the answer next week. Have a look at this footage and try and figure out what it is, and in our next wrap, we'll let you know. It's quite an unusual building. All right, now, while we're having a great time here, there are people back on the water, in fact, most of the fleet. One of them spirited down under. George, tell us a bit more about Laurie.
Oh, Laurie is just a great guy. At 80 years of age, doing his third Melbourne to Osaka, and I think this is one of the toughest ever. And to think at Laurie's age, with his son Tim, it's such an achievement, and the results are going to tell because he's such an old fox.
All right, let's hear what it's got to say. We actually spoke to Laurie earlier today. Now, this is your third race. How does it rate compared to the others?
It would have to be the hardest one so far, Martin. There's been absolutely no opportunity to put the sun umbrella up and enjoy sundowner drinks underneath it. It's been pretty hard going, quite frankly, but we're looking forward to getting there.
Now, yourself and Tim, you're sailing very well. You've left the pack behind you, and you've actually pulled out time on Runaway and Matrix Reloaded, almost catching Runaway. So you're doing well.
Yes, thank you. We are. The last part of this race is going to be tricky because there's some light areas coming up, and it's going to be a trick to sort of either get round them or get through them. So, yes, we're looking forward to it, though.
Well, that's good. Now, the question I've got for you is about your lucky charms. You seem to have a purple top on and some little, I don't know, little icon on your back push bit.
Oh, yes. There's two of them. One's Leaping Lena, the leopard, who goes like the wind, and the other one is Godzilla. Tyrannosaurus, that's it.
What about your purple top? I believe you have a lucky purple top.
Yes, I've got it, and I'll be wearing it over the finish line.
Well, you were wearing it at the start line, and I was told it's a lucky top.
I don't know about luck, but it's very warm. Yes. And what a start that was, Martin.
Oh, we've had an eventful race, Laurie, and we're looking forward to telling you about it. You're getting there. I think you're almost getting close to 1,000 nautical miles to go.
Exactly. On our screen, as we speak, the distance to the waypoint, which is the outer harbour, is 1000.
How exciting for you. Last question, how's Tim going?
Tim is fantastic. He's the workhorse behind everything that happens here, but he's been thrilled with the way we've set the boat up and how easy it has been to change gears. That's the the thing that we were aiming at to build up the horsepower in this boat with sort of larger sails for the lighter conditions, and it's turned out to be a winner so far.
That's fantastic, Laurie. It's great news. You've got an awful lot of supporters, me included. We admire you greatly. So we'll see you in Osaka.
Okay, Martin, look forward to it.
So, George, there's a bit of luck involved with yacht racing, obviously. Utopia, they haven't had much luck.
Oh, it was really tough for Utopia with Steve's illness and John's amazing talents in seamanship.
Yeah, let's say a bit more about that. Now, John single-handedly ran that boat for 300 to 400 nautical miles in incredible conditions.
Well, the conditions were pretty tough. I understand it was between even 20 and 40 knots, big seas, and trying to cope with that, sail the boat, and to go into a foreign port at that stage.
Meanwhile, actually talking to the medical team over the radio, based with ORCV and with JCC, running the boat, Skeds, navigating. The guy needs an award, doesn't he?
It was quite an amazing effort.
So great effort, John Fletcher, as a skipper. Well done to you. Now, some of the quiet achievers in the race. We've got Red Jacket with Annette and...
Oh, Red Jacket, isn't it interesting? She's competing against 3 boats in this race. It's really odd when you find little groups actually competing against themselves. So here we've got Red Jacket against the 3600s.
And they're doing well. The 3600s is a bunch. They're racing. They're having a fantastic little match race. We've got Runaway and Matrix up the front. We've got Bartolome in the edge.
And also we've got Electra sitting out there on the edge, troubling them all.
And we do. And Force 11, of course, they've been a bit unlucky with the winds down south, with the lighter winds and water ingress, but they're doing it tough.
Yes, water ingress seems to be a problem in almost every boat. Not really good to have a wet bunk and wet food.
It's certainly been a wet race. It hasn't had the glam conditions of previous races, but that's yacht racing, George.
Yes, and why do we do it?
Who knows why we do it, George? We certainly ask ourselves when we're out there sailing. But look, let's talk to Simon Dryden. Let's get the latest on the weather.
Thanks, Martin and George. Simon Dryden here from Race Control in Melbourne, and we're just going to have a quick look at the weather for the fleet for the next week or so. So just a reminder where the boats are is down the back at bottom near the Caroline Islands. We've got Electra, Matrix, Mavericks, Mr. Lucky, etc. Next sort of little group is Runaway and Spirited Down Under, Matrix, Bartolome, The Edge, Allegro. So we're just going to go and have a look at the weather models. And this again is from our friends at Predict Wind. We're starting down here where the bottom of the fleet is, and we'll just play along and show you some things. So the back of the fleet will be going through the northeast trades, going quite fast. And we'll just stop here and just go back and have a look up at Japan. We'll just go back a little bit. And so we're just going to show you this little bit here, that this is the strong wind in Osaka Bay and the lead up to Osaka that Allegro will experience. So 30 to 35 knots. We've already sent Allegro a warning about this strength or strong wind that's going to come through here. And now we'll just go back to our fleet down the back here and see the next big feature of the model. So we just let that play through for a while, and you will see, we'll just stop here and we'll have a look at the next big influence here. And that's this very large quiet patch. So as you can see, we're looking at Friday this week, and if we play this model on, and you will see those next few days, there's not much sign of wind at all, and all quite tricky sailing. So when we get up here, don't forget that we've got the Kirishito current that runs through here, and so in this light weather that's flowing here, your strategy to get across the current is really going to be telling. But looking at the models, I don't know whether this will be true or not, but it's going to have lots of finishes. And so if we look at where Monday, Tuesday next week is, a little more wind is starting to form along the coast of Japan, and that should get some of our finishes in. But again, the light weather is remaining there, and if we just play for a few more days, we can see that that light wind continues, but with a bit of an increase of a low pressure system here. Boats like Tri-Booking and things, if they get across the Narrows, could go quite well next week. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the weather. Hope Martin, George and your crowd up there, you're enjoying the hospitality of the Hoko Yacht Club, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
So thanks, Simon. Look, George, we've got a party to get to. We're going to leave you with the footage of Morningstar's finish, and we'll see you next on the Weekly Wrap.
Hello!
Lots of ships and definitely no wind at the very end. Yeah, had to go around lots of ships all the way.
People always say the Derwent River is difficult where we're from in Tassie, but it's got nothing on Osaka Bay.
Just got to talk on behalf of the Ocean Racing Club of Victoria and the whole ocean racing community to pay our respects to you guys for finishing what was just a huge race, a monumental effort, and I think we're going on behalf of everyone, just what a massive effort. You guys just pushed and raced and pushed and didn't give up, so well done guys.
Yeah.